Hello and welcome to the fifth quarter AZ. My name is Tommy Hernandez and I'm your host today. Today we are joined by Coconino High School senior and dance team member Elizabeth Hanley. Thanks so much, Liz, for joining us today on the fifth quarter. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So today we're just going to have a casual conversation, get to know you, talk a little bit about your sport. And so why don't we start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Elizabeth. I go by Liz, and I am a student athlete at Coconino High School. I did Danceline for 2 years, I think, and I did NADL online school for my junior and senior year, but technically I'm enrolled at Coconino. I'm a pretty motivated person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So prior to joining dance at Coconino, were you in dance already through another organization or?
Yeah, so growing up, I think I started at super young at like 3. I was at a dance studio in Flagstaff, not the current one that I'm at, but I went there for, I want to say 10 years at least.
Okay.
And then I quit for a couple years, and then my sophomore year, the summer after sophomore year, I heard about Danceline, and I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds super cool. And so I went to the summer practices and contacted the coach and was like, hey, like, I know I didn't go to tryouts, but I was wondering if you would like give me a chance. And then I made the team, and I was just on Danceline, and then I started dancing at her studio because our coach also owns Dance Evolution, which is right across the street.
Okay.
And I started dancing there, like doing classes and stuff. And then this year I did their company, which is like competing at competitions with the studio. So I really just did it all this year.
Right.
But I've been dancing like my whole life, ever since I can remember. So
Awesome. Sounds fun. Have you played any other traditional sports growing up, or was dance kind of your thing? Or
yeah, I tried a lot of stuff and just ended up not liking it. I tried soccer, I tried volleyball. I did like volleyball, but I wasn't very good at it, so I quit. I tried swimming. I did swimming for a while. And mostly just now, like, I weightlift and I do dance, and that's about it.
Okay.
So, but I think that's all the other traditional sports I tried. Oh, I did track too.
Oh, right on.
That was
Good.
fun too, but I'm not the running kind of person. I hate running. So
what draws you to dance? Is it do you enjoy the competition part of it as well?
Yeah, competitions are super fun. When my mom always tells me when I was 5 years old, that was when I started competing, and she was, I was at a competition, and I'm like, when do I get to dance on stage by myself? And so, like, I always just loved competing and taking classes and just, like, moving my body, and it's a very, like, physically demanding sport, even if people don't think so, but it's super fun, and a lot of friendships have come from it too. So
awesome. Yeah. So watching dance, I think some of the things. I mean, you have to have the energy, strength, the balance. I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it that a lot of people don't know about. What are some things you do to prepare? Like, what is your practices like? Do you work on balance and weightlifting and cardio?
Yeah. So with dance, it's kind of subjective of what is good, I guess you could say, because for a traditional sport, it's pretty straightforward and like, oh, if you can make the basketball in the hoop, like, you're good, you know, like, but for dance, it's more of like a couple different things. There's flexibility, there's strength, there's jumps, like how high you can jump, how high you can hold your leg, how well you can perform with your face. Like, there's so many like different components that go into it. And so practices are definitely jam-packed. So usually they start with like a cardio warm-up, because dance requires a lot of cardio, believe it or not. And so we always start with some sort of cardio, and then usually we'll do some sort of strengthening, just without weights or stuff, anything like that. We would have weight room once a week. And then we would stretch for flexibility, and then as practice went on, we would just go through and clean the dances, make sure everyone looks the same. Choreography, making sure the choreography looks good and make sure it's presentable for like half times and competitions and stuff like that. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it that people don't really necessarily see on the outside. And it is a lot of hard work. And yeah.
Yeah, I can see it being a very physically demanding sport. And we'll call it a sport. I think it's now an official AIA sport through Arizona. So
that's good.
Yeah, so that's awesome. It's growing. For us that don't know quite the difference, there's cheer and there's dance. There's two separate teams, right?
Yes. So yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Okay. Cheer is more, and I'm not trying to bash on cheer in any way, more like stunts. They do a lot of stunts and very like posed stunts, whereas like dance, if we do like a lift, it's more go up, go down kind of thing. Cheer has a very different choreography than we do. There's not very much style to cheer because there's multiple styles of dance like hip hop, pom, jazz, tap, ballroom, all the things. And with cheer, it's more just like sharp motions and a lot of facials. And with dance, it's more kind of fluid is the best way to explain it. And like, depending on the style, it's a little bit different. One thing I would say is very similar is pom. Pom for dance is very similar to cheer, like competition cheer.
Right.
And they're very like obnoxious facials, very, very obnoxious like like if you watch it, you'd be like, what are they doing? But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities for sure. Like the uniforms look the same, the pom-poms look the same, like, and yeah, there's a lot of similarities, but just the work that goes into it, I think is a lot different. I mean, I've never tried cheer. I don't know what work goes into that, but I think if you were to put a cheer dance next to a dance, you would kind of be able to tell the difference just because dance is more fluid. I think that's the best way to put it. And cheer is more like trying to get the people hyped up. Yeah. Get people going. And yeah, I mean, for like game days, like when we cheer at football games and stuff, I think that's very similar. Like that's what we call game day dancing, where we just do palm motions and so does cheer, and then we're doing cute faces, they're doing cute faces, we're doing lifts, they're doing lifts. Like it's very similar.
Right.
But in terms of like competition and half times, it's definitely a lot different.
Right. Yeah, I could see how they're both very physically demanding sports. A lot of respect for all the participants in both. I actually had read one time like cheer had the most injuries in like high school. And
lots of concussions. I'm like,
concussions when they're lifting each other up. And
I mean, that definitely takes a lot of strength to lift someone up. I've done it too. We do some lifts too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like for the national anthem, we would hold them up for the whole national anthem, like hold someone up.
It's the longest song ever when you're holding someone, right?
Especially when like choir is doing it or something, like it's super long and I'm like, oh my gosh, my arms are killing me. So I definitely respect cheer for like the work that they put into.
Right.
I think we both put in a lot of work and we've worked together too for some routines, which has been super fun. So
how fun. So as far as school dance, did you guys go to competitions this year and how did you do?
Yeah, so we went to there was one virtual competition that we did to qualify for nationals, which we did qualify and we did go to nationals, and that was super cool. And one of our soloists qualified, because when you go to a dance competition, you have like kind of like a semifinals and then a finals, and everyone competes at the semis, and then the finals are like something you have to qualify again for, and you have to recompete the routine. Okay. So one of our soloists, her name's Natalie Odom, she qualified for the semifinals, which was super cool because there's 3 rounds for solos. It was super weird. But and then for state, we went to AIA State, and Arizona is by far one of the hardest dance states, I would say, along with like California. Very, very talented people. And for state, we, for the first time in Coconino history, we qualified for the finals, which we got to compete again at, and that was super fun, and we were all super excited. We were like, oh my gosh, like, and last year we almost qualified, and we were like, dang it, like, but we pushed super hard this year and worked really hard, and we were able to qualify.
Wow, that's a huge accomplishment. There's not many sports from Flagstaff that are qualifying for nationals. So to qualify for nationals, to make it to the finals, that's huge. I mean, I'm glad that we had this opportunity to kind of spotlight the sport, spotlight what's going on at Coconino. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. So congratulations. Shout out to Natalie. That's awesome. And I'm sure your coach, do you have one coach or multiple? Or
yeah, we have two coaches. Jessica Barker is the main coach, but we also have like a coach that'll step in for her and is at all the games and competitions and everything. Her name's Kara Nelson. She's great. I love her. She's very, she's always prepared. Like if you're like, I need a Band-Aid, she always has everything, and I love her. But yeah, they have definitely, if we didn't have them, I don't think we would have been able to qualify. I mean, obviously we're putting in the work too, but they put in a lot of time, and they're there all the time for us, you know, hours on end every day. Right. And both of them also work at the studio like full time, so they're super busy, and I respect both of them a lot because they put a lot of time and effort and management into dealing with teenage girls every day. So, you know, and all the drama and
Right. Well, shout out to the coaches. That's amazing. Great job. And I'm sure they'll impact your lives forever.
Yeah, for sure.
So post high school, do you have plans? Can you continue dance in college, or do you have plans to? Or
yeah, there's all kinds of college teams. Something that's super popular on like social media is like the UDA competitions where like Ohio State and Minnesota State compete, and Jessica's actually a coach at NAU as well, so she coaches a dance team there too, and they go to UDA, which is super cool. And I'm going to NAU next year, and I was planning on doing the dance team, but I had a torn tendon after a competition in November or something, and it's still torn. So I'm probably going to let that heal and take like a break for a year before trying out for the NAU dance team. Okay. But that's definitely a goal that I have that I want to do.
Awesome. Yeah, actually I have seen the NAU dance team now that I think about it. Yeah, they have the cheer and the dance as well. So, well, that's awesome. So you're staying here in town, going to NAU. Were you born and raised here?
Yeah, I've been here my whole life.
So you love it?
Yeah. Sometimes the weather is not consistent at all. Like it was snowing last week, and now it's like 78. So,
well, awesome. So we're looking at dance. Does Flag High have dance as well? Do you guys compete with them?
So I think they made like a club this year, a dance club this year, and we've seen them at a couple of games. We're very like cooperative with their cheer team as well. Like we always take pictures all together, and we saw them at the rivalry game this year, and they've been at a couple of games and stuff. But I don't think they've been an established dance team yet, so we're not able to like go to competitions with them. Okay. But cheer, Flag High's cheer and Coco cheer, whenever we're all at competitions together, we'll all support each other, and it's it's super cool because, you know, there's a whole rivalry thing going on, which like there's a time and a place for it, but you know, it's really cool that we can all support each other at like competitions and stuff. So I hope that someday, when they are an established dance team and can go to competitions, and they can be supportive of each other. Right.
I mean, not to sound cliche, but like it seems like a good support group, and you always cheer for each other. And like when you watch cheerleaders, like when one team's done performing, the other team will definitely cheer them on, and you know, kind of give them props for their performances. So that sounds super fun. Do you dance with any of them at your dance studio, or? Yeah,
I think some of a couple of the Flag High cheer girls do dance at the studio too. And I think a majority of Coconino's Danceline goes to the studio as well because it's right next to a school, so it makes sense. Right. But yeah, I mean, it's all super inclusive. Like none of us really have beef because of the rivalry thing going on. It's a super inclusive like studio. It's a super inclusive dance team. Like there's never been really any beef as long as I've been on the team, you know, between all the cheer teams and the dance teams. Like it's always been super like involving, you know. We always work together with cheer too, like for half times and pep rallies. We'll always like make a dance together, and it's super fun. Awesome. And we're all like friends with each other, and
right on. So for younger kids that want to get into dance, what do you recommend for them? Like if just if they enjoy dance, it's something they should go for and maybe start at the studio? Or have people in high school that have never performed in dance joined dance? Or
yeah, a lot of girls on the team haven't danced a day in their life, and they put in the work to get the skills that they need to make the team. Like, for example, Jessica offers dance team prep at her studio, and that's for like people in middle school, people that are currently in high school, and the NAU dance team also offers like little clinics too that you can go to just to, you know, work on skills and showcase all that stuff. So that's probably the best way to prepare for that, because she's in those classes, she's working on the skills and teaching people how to do the skills that are required to make the team. And a lot of girls that are currently on the team went to those prep classes, and sometimes there's girls that don't make the team 1 year and then they are going to the prep classes all year and then make the team next year, and it's super cool because you know, it's cool to see people work hard to do that, and there's so many different opportunities to, you know, work towards those skills and towards those you know, the dance team and making the team and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, hard work pays off, and you know, they're working hard at the craft. And so when you guys perform, how do you pick what, like, music style? Is that all depend on, you know, where you're performing or what you guys are doing when you pick different types of dance and music?
For the like half times for games, football games, basketball games, Jessica will usually mix up the style between like jazz and hip hop and pom, and we'll keep like, and I don't know if anyone notices this, but we will keep the same like 4 or 5 routines and then use them for football season, and then also keep using them for basketball season.
Okay.
So we just have those drilled in our head. They're already clean. They're already easy to, you know, because there's a lot of basketball games going on. So it's like, would be very inconvenient to just keep making new routines every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Jessica's the one that, you know, chooses the songs and the choreography, and we usually learn that over the summer at the 2-week camp that we go to.
Okay.
And then it's easy to clean throughout the year. Same with sidelines. Our sidelines are all the same choreography. We just switch the music. And I don't know if anyone notices that either, but it definitely makes it a little easier to clean and like not get tired of the songs for sure. And then for competitions, the music choice is dependent on the choreographer, because we bring in professional choreographers to do our competition routines. This year we had Brinley Linton do our hip hop routine, and super crazy, like super good choreography. It was so much fun. And then our pom routine was done by her sister, who is also trying to like work her way in the choreography world, and she did our pom routine. Also super great. The songs are super like expensive for some reason. You have to pay like $100 to buy a song or something. Oh, wow. It's ridiculous. I'm like, okay, and all the copyright and everything, but that's more dependent on the choreographers. There's never really been a time. I think for sidelines, like the team usually chooses like, oh, we should do this song, throw this one in there, and then we're like, oh yeah, that's cute. Or like for Christmas games, we would do like some Christmas songs and just do the same choreography, and yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm sure a lot goes into memorizing the songs and the choreography, so it's impressive to hear that you guys start in the summer. Like, this isn't something that
it's insane.
do. You got to put a lot of work and time and dedication into making each routine work and pop and get everybody excited and the crowd going. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this is partly my fault, partly Jessica's fault. We would do like workouts anytime there was some sort of break. Like over the summer, we would do summer workouts. We would do summer, learn the sidelines over the summer, learn the half times over the summer. And then if it was Thanksgiving break, we would also have workouts and have to submit tricks and stuff. And a lot of hard work went into that, and people probably hated me for it, but it definitely paid off because all of our routines looked really incredible. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So you go to nationals. You guys have a professional choreographer that comes in and works with you guys. Here, is it someone local, or do they come from like
I believe
Phoenix or something? Or
I think she lives in Phoenix. I think she's originally from Utah.
Okay.
But she just came in at the beginning of the year, and we spent like 2 days learning the routine. And then this is not something that normally choreographers do, but she also came back later in the season to kind of like re-clean and make sure everything was going okay and move people around, whatever she needed to do, which was super cool. Not a lot of choreographers do that. But we definitely appreciated it because it was super fun. And since for our pom routine, it's Jessica's sister, that was also very convenient because, you know, she could come up and help us clean, or if we needed to re-choreograph, she could help us do that. We actually re-choreographed like a whole 30 seconds 2 weeks before nationals. It was super stressful, but we made it happen. I'm like, you're crazy.
Right?
But it worked out great.
I mean, 30 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm sure
it
when
is.
the performance is only a few minutes long, that's a big portion of it, right?
Yeah, and like with the routines, like it's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds on average, but like, oh my gosh, the cardio that goes into that and the movement, like it's like doing jump squats for 2.5 minutes. It's hard. Right. And people don't necessarily understand it because we don't show the competition routines at halftimes and stuff.
Right.
But I mean, our halftimes are pretty like cute and easygoing, and we still work hard, of course, but the competition routines are like probably some of the hardest things I've ever done. It's hard. It's harder than like dance, studio dance too. It's incredible.
I could imagine for like a football player or basketball player, when you are tired, you can look tired. Mm-hmm. You guys have to look like like you're not tired.
Yeah,
like
they can run and
fun.
Be like, we have to be like, yay, I'm so happy.
Right? You can't just bend over and pant and look exhausted. So
yeah, it's also hard to breathe throughout that too, believe it or not, you know.
I'm sure.
And make it look good at the same time. It's super hard. But
yeah, that's awesome. Well, as we kind of get to the end and wrap up, we always have, it's a Danny Neal's Golden Nugget question. So that's a shout out to Coach Neal. So the Golden Nugget question, we just ask at the end, kind of pick your brain on something that we've dug into a little bit. So the Golden Nugget question today is for you is, what advice would you give a youngster that's wanting to get into dance, that maybe having a hard time with like a certain aspect, maybe memorizing the choreography or the strength or the mental part of it that goes into it? What advice would you give the young dancers?
I think with dance, there's always going to be someone better than you, and that can be really hard for your confidence sometimes because it's hard to have confidence when you're looking up to all these people and you're like, I'm never going to be able to do that. And I struggled with that a lot before I had this epiphany, where you have to dance for you. You have to dance because it makes you feel good. And if you don't do that, then what is the purpose of it? Because you're never going to be... Sorry, this is kind of like not motivational, but you're never going to be the best. I mean, obviously, if you're an Olympian...
Right.
But like, you know, we're in Flagstaff. Like for me, it was very, my purpose in dance was to make myself happy and to improve, and to just work hard, put in all the work that you can, do what's in your control, because if you try to control too much, then, it's just unrealistic. It becomes unrealistic. And instead of doing that, you should just appreciate what you're doing, work hard at what you're doing, focus on yourself, and don't worry about like the people around you that are better than you, or, you know, compare yourself to other people, because it's truly just not worth it. You should do it because it makes you feel good, and you should do it because it makes you happy and because you want to work hard to achieve like a sort of goal, you know. Your goal shouldn't be to be the best. It should be to get better, you know?
Right.
So
no, that's great advice for any young athlete. Like when you're on a team, if someone's better, you just got to keep going and doing your best. And, you know, so I definitely appreciate that advice, and I'm sure everybody else will love that answer. But anyways, it's been great having you. Is there anything else you want to add that I might have missed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But, you know, we at Fifth Quarter definitely thank you for joining us today, and